How do you think in the current state of education that we can continue to get children and young adults interested in the type of literature that The Giver is, more introspective, more thought-provoking, and getting, our generation to think about some of these issues?
Well, I think from what I hear from teachers, kids, often it's assigned reading, required reading, that terrible phrase that even I, when I was 12, groaned when something was deemed required reading. But teachers tell me that kids, even after the initial groan, start the book and they become attracted to the story, to the character. They identify with the character, which is always what I hope for when I create a character. And then they fall into the story and are carried along by it. What emerges after that, and the role of the teacher then is to help kids perceive what emerges, is the things that you think about after reading the book. But they read it as an adventure story and apparently have no problem with the fact that they're learning something from it, or that they're given food for thought, that the book raises questions, which is what good books always do. But I think the key for kids is that it be a good story, that you want to turn the page. I always start out every book, and I think I could go back over every book I've written, and there are 45 of them. I start out with a character that I try to make appealing to a young audience, and with a sense that something is not quite right. And in The Giver, I did it in one sentence. I think I can quote it. It was almost December and Jonas was beginning to be frightened. In that sentence, you know something's wrong and that's going to have to be righted by the end of the book. I do that in every book, a sense that something is askew. Musicians do it too. I am not a musician, but a symphony begins with a beautiful sound that then something is a little amiss, and the orchestra tries for the next 2 hours sometimes to make it come back to that original sound. And I think that's the role of the composer or the writer. And then if you do that well, the audience, the reader, the listener, the person who watches the movie is going to go along with you, waiting for the things to come together in the end.
That's the fifth sentence in the film. That something was wrong.
Oh, what's the first?
After the ruin.
Oh, okay. A little backstory. The movie has to begin with a little backstory to explain.